Hello everybody and welcome to Spash and Bro Power Hour, the hour of power with Spash and Bro, where we're committed to putting a smile on your face.
No matter how bad it hurts.
So today, our main topic is our favorite weapons in video games. This is based off of lore, or just how OP they are.
But before we get into that, Spash, how's your week been, man?
It's been pretty good.
So,
I've kind of been under the wear.
oh, yeah, I feel you, man. What you eating there?
Oh, I mean a cheese stick.
Huh. I like cheese sticks, man. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty okay.
Yeah.
I like pulling them down. You know, pulling strings off of it.
Yeah. Somehow that makes it taste better
It does.
than just biting it, just kind of like a carrot.
Yeah, there's something about it that gives it longevity and enhances the taste.
Yeah, like we're food connoisseurs or something like that. Yeah. Full disclaimer, we're not food connoisseurs.
I'm a foodie. I practice gastric science. I don't know the
Gastric
word.
science?
Yeah, I don't know the word for it.
Okay.
Anyways, my week's been pretty okay. I've been kind of under the weather.
Yeah.
Been sick the past 3 days, but I'm getting better. Finally getting well enough to get out of bed. How about you? How's your week been?
Well, started off not so good. Sunday I had to be in the hospital all night because grandfather had a fall and unfortunately he passed away. Had his funeral Thursday, but other than that, pretty normal week for the most part.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things where he was just not doing too well, and it was probably better off for him just to pass on than to stay and suffer here anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Anyways, on to brighter and happy news.
Indeed, and let's start off with your favorite topic, sports! Off to the sports desk with Dudebro.
Thank you, Spash. And today we have a lot of noticeable SEC matchups in the world of college football today. Starting off at 12 p.m., we have number 2, Georgia at Missouri. Georgia is a 14-point favorite. Georgia is undefeated in the regular season, along with undefeated in conference play with their win over South Carolina. Missouri is also undefeated in conference play. Now, the key to this game is definitely Georgia's secondary against Missouri's quarterback, Drew Lock, who's pretty high on everybody's draft board. Just one of the top quarterbacks to take in the next draft. Got great arm, great pocket mobility, got good receivers on the outside. So it's definitely going to be a matchup of if Georgia's secondary can stop the receivers and can put pressure on Drew Lock to make plays in very tight windows. This game was kind of hard to pick because 14 points, it seems like a lot of points to give to Georgia. But I think Georgia will cover that spread, if not more. I'm picking Georgia to win. What do you say, Spash?
Oh yeah, Georgia all the way. Glory, glory.
All right, moving on. At 3:30, we have number 1 Alabama, Spash's team, Alabama,
Roll Tide.
at Texas A&M. Bama is undefeated
Darn right.
in regular season play and undefeated in conference play, whereas Texas A&M is 2-1 with a very, very, very close loss to Clemson. I almost pulled that game out at home. It was really close.
It was.
I honestly want Texas A&M to win really, really badly.
Me too.
Like they played so hard, I felt so bad for them.
I always feel obligated to cheer for them.
Yeah. Anyways, the keys to this game is definitely the Texas A&M defensive line, which has looked really good in the past couple of weeks, and they played Clemson pretty tough against Alabama's quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. I think I said that right. Tua Tagovailoa.
It's a beautiful name.
It is. He's a Hawaiian.
He is.
Yeah, this kid has looked great his past 3 games. Like, Alabama's offense looks pretty much unstoppable. Like, I've never seen an offense look this good. I thought Baker Mayfield last year with their Oklahoma's offense was great, but Bama looks pretty much unbeatable right now.
It does. It's like a wall that you're just looking up at and thinking, there's no way I can get over it. I can't get through.
Well, I think of it more as just like a minigun just mowing you down. Because that's the offense. I think this is the best offense Nick Saban has ever had. Probably the best quarterback he's ever coached.
I agree, and that's why we should compromise and say it's a minigun on top of a wall.
Indeed. Alabama is a 23.5-point favorite. I'm not sure I would give Bama this many points because I think Texas A&M is a good team. I think Bama would still win. I think it's more on lines maybe like a 14-point range. I think this is definitely be the toughest defense they faced so far, but give me Bama.
Absolutely. Roll Tide every time.
Alright, next one we have is a really interesting game. At 4 p.m. we have South Carolina at Vanderbilt. South Carolina coming off a win at kind of a low-class ranking school, kind of get them back on their feet after they lost to Georgia. And then Vanderbilt coming off a really close loss to Notre Dame at Notre Dame, where they have every chance to win that game. Fumbled the ball at the goal line. had every chance to win.
Of course.
They were the better team on the field that game. I mean, they outclassed Notre Dame in every category, and I was like kind of hoping for Vandy because Vandy's kind of one of those teams where it's like they never really have an elite team, but sometimes they have a pretty good team. I think they have a good one this year. South Carolina is a 2-point favorite, which I think is about right. It's gonna be a really close game, I think.
Oh yes.
South Carolina is 2-1 overall, 0-1 in conference play. Vanderbilt is 2-1 overall, and this is where they start their conference play, I think. The key to this game is definitely Kyle Shermer, Vanderbilt's quarterback, against South Carolina's defense in general. I think if Shermer can get going throwing the ball and it opens up that run game, they'll give South Carolina some trouble, whereas with Vanderbilt's defense against South Carolina, it's definitely going to be shutting down their run game. If they can shut down that run game and make Jake Bentley make some plays. Now, with Jake Bentley, he's kind of a hit-and-miss quarterback. He's kind of like Brett Favre, in a sense. He's a gunslinger. Okay. And by gunslinger, I mean he tries to make plays no matter what. Even if the right decision is to throw the ball away, he'll still try to make a play, which means he'll make a lot of great plays and a lot of boneheaded mistakes. So basically, a lot of touchdowns, but also a lot of interceptions. So if they can make him make those kind of plays, I think more often than not he'll make mistakes, and I think Vanderbilt will have a really good chance to win. This is a really, really tough game. I'm going to go with South Carolina just based on the fact that it's Vandy, but I wouldn't rule out Vandy at all. This is truly a toss-up game, if I ever saw one. Spash, what are you going for?
Well, since you're going for South Carolina, I'll go with
Vanderbilt?
Yep.
All right, moving on. We have a couple of 7 o'clock games coming up, but I think I'm going to cut it to only one 7 o'clock because these two other matchups aren't really mentioning because they're playing nobodies and it's obvious that they'll win. At 7 o'clock, we have number 14 Mississippi State at Kentucky. Mississippi State is they're riding high. They're everybody's dark horse to win the West. They're undefeated. This is their first game in conference play. Kentucky, surprisingly, also undefeated, coming off probably one of the best wins in program history against Florida last week in the Swamp after 31 years of constantly losing in every imaginable possible way. They pulled it out and they actually won pretty easily against Florida.
I have a huge family in Kentucky and they are all very excited for this win.
They are, and the key to this matchup is going to be Kentucky's defensive line against Mississippi State's running backs, and of course Nick Fitzgerald. Nick Fitzgerald is kind of a low-key on the Heisman. He's a great runner, got a great arm, got a great deep ball. Has some accuracy issues here and there, but if they can slow him down and bottle him and not let him make plays with his legs, they can slow him down. Now for Mississippi State, they have a really good defensive line. It's kind of a theme with the SEC West teams. They all have really good defensive lines. Maybe not elite, but still pretty good. They can slow down Kentucky's running back, Benny Snell, who's a really good running back, and they can kind of like cut their offense in half. They'll make Kentucky's quarterback have to make a decision, which in the Florida game, he played okay, didn't play great. Pretty much if Benny Snell wasn't on the field, they probably wouldn't have won that game. You know what? This wouldn't be a fun channel if I didn't pick an upset, so I'm picking Kentucky over Mississippi State. I'm going on a limb here because Kentucky beat Florida, beat my expectations, so I'm going with Kentucky.
I gotta be loyal. I'm picking Kentucky.
Kentucky. All right, we're going with Kentucky. And finally, I think the most interesting game of the week for the SEC at 7 o'clock. Florida at Tennessee. Both these teams in recent years, they have not looked good. The program has been kind of in the toilet. Florida after Urban Meyer left, and Tennessee, well, obviously Tennessee hasn't been relevant for the past decade, so defense Tennessee fans out there.
Well, there you go.
Both these teams are 2-1. Florida starting off 0-1 in conference play, and Tennessee opening up their conference play here. Now, this game is really interesting because really these wins here are going to determine how the program I think is going to be set for the rest of the year. Both of these teams have first-year coaches in Den Mullen and Jeremy Pruitt. Obviously, Jeremy Pruitt was the defensive coordinator for Alabama last year.
Right.
And Dan Mullen was head coach of Mississippi State last year before moving to Florida. Now, listen to this. This is amazing. Listen to this. Florida now has lost 7 straight Power 5 games now.
7?
7 straight Power 5 games.
That is amazing.
Against Power 5. So they really need this win. And Tennessee has not won an SEC game since November of 2016. So they have not won an SEC conference game in 2 years.
So this is a pretty big game for them both.
Exactly. Because Tennessee, this next month, they have a rough schedule playing Auburn, Alabama, and Georgia in the same month.
Oh,
all those teams in the top 10, which they're all pretty much guaranteed losses unless they find something like some kind of breakout play or something. So if they can open up with a win here, I think it'll set a good vibe for that program, and the players will probably play better and be a little more invested in what Jeremy Pruitt's trying to offer. Whereas it's Florida, they just lost to Kentucky, a team that's not beat them in 31 years.
There you go.
Kentucky against Florida was basically like the Browns of the NFL.
I know.
Finding all kinds of ways to lose. And they finally broke out.
They finally did it.
So Florida has to get back on a winning note. This one's really, really tough. You know what? I'm going to go with Tennessee. I love making fun of Tennessee fans as much as the next guy, but I'm going for Tennessee here. I think Tennessee pulls it out.
I like everyone more than Florida. So, Tennessee, we both got your back.
Yeah, don't disappoint me.
Don't disappoint him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to end this sports talk with a play that happened last week I think we really need to touch on. It was the North Texas-Arkansas game, which, by the way, Arkansas completely crapped the bed. It was a punt return. I don't know if you saw this on ESPN. Alright, Arkansas punted the ball to North Texas, and the defender, he very slyly never signaled the fair catch. When he caught the ball, he acted like he was walking to the sidelines.
What?
And then he just took off
Whoa.
down the sidelines for a touchdown. Again, he never waved a fair catch, but he caught it, and nobody noticed he did not wave the fair catch, and he just kind of started walking away and then just started sprinting down the sideline.
That is the best way to do anything like that.
It was perfected so well that the NCAA is actually reviewing the play and actually thinking, do they have to call a fair catch in that or is there going to be a penalty for that? Because it was executed so well.
Well, I hope they say it's fair.
I think
Just
it was fair.
for the sheer fact that he just pretended like no big deal. I'm just gonna walk this way. Never mind.
Exactly. It was beautiful. And this is kind of showing how I think Arkansas season is going to come, because SC's got a lot of first-year head coaches this season, but it's not looking good for Chad Morrison in Arkansas.
Thanks, Dudebro. And now moving on from sports, we're going to Dudebro at the Tech Desk.
Thanks, Spash. And today in tech news, we have a transportation news update. Uber invests $150 million in Toronto engineering hub for a self-driving car platform. This is kind of in the wake of, that whole fiasco with the self-driving thing, had a couple of crashes here and there.
Right.
I think Uber's kind of pushing this to kind of increase how their names and how they're going to interview technologically. I really don't need to read too much more into this article, because it kind of goes on to what I just said about they're doing this because they're trying to prove the value of self-driving cars.
Or are they?
I don't know. It could be a conspiracy, man.
This is... Oh my goodness. This is a testing ground.
A testing ground?
A very thinly veiled one at that. You know what they're doing?
What are they doing, Spash?
They're testing self-driving armored personnel carriers.
No, self-driving kamikazes. But with cars.
Oh my goodness. They're gonna use robot cars to take our jobs!
To take our jobs? Not only take our jobs, but to nuke us.
They're gonna take our jobs and nuke us.
Yeah, they're gonna nuke us with cars. They're gonna put nukes in the cars. They're gonna drive it to your house.
No, the cars are gonna drive to your house.
Yeah, the cars! Yeah, but they're gonna control them through the little monitor things.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's Terminator. It's freaking Terminator!
Okay, Toronto, if you can hear us, if you haven't already been taken out by the Terminator mobiles, get out of there, man.
Get
or
out of
woman,
there.
or child. Get out of there.
I know what it is.
What is it?
It's an elaborate plot by Norm the Genie. You know how much Norm the Genie hates Canada?
It's Norm.
It's Norm the Genie. Because he always wanted to destroy Canada, because in his words, they've had it too good for too long.
Toronto, Canada, you're beyond our help now.
Yeah, if Norm the Genie is on you, man, like, there's no way you're getting out of that. Especially if he's out of his lamp, or his lava lamp.
It's true.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do for you. Good luck. We salute your efforts to survive. Anyways, on to better news.
Yeah, on to better, less depressing news.
Thanks, dude, bro. I'm here at the gaming desk, where I'm looking at the remastered edition of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles for Nintendo Switch and PS4.
Oh, I've always loved that series.
This is my favorite sub-series of Final Fantasy and my favorite entry in the series. I remember getting this just to have the Game Boy Link cable because they sold it as a package deal.
Huh.
I don't think you could get it anywhere else. It ended up being probably my favorite game for the GameCube, besides Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh yeah, I love Super Mario Sunshine.
I'm looking forward to the glorious sights, the beautiful boss fights, and filling up that town again. What do you think, dude, bro?
I've always loved this particular series of Final Fantasy because of the reason that you mentioned. I've never been a Final Fantasy person per se. Obviously, I love Square Enix and what they do, especially with Kingdom Hearts.
Of course.
But with this particular sub-series, I love that they're bringing back the remaster, especially if they're doing it with Nintendo Switch. because they're really pushing that initiative of being handheld and then, of course, playing it on the big screen. Kind of like what they're doing with Pokemon now.
Absolutely, and this has one more implication. This was a GameCube game. We're looking at a possibility of them bringing more GameCube games to the Switch.
I know. I've always had fond memories of GameCube. That's the first ever console that I owned.
Me too.
I got it when I was 6 years old. I got it on Christmas. I had a Super Mario Sunshine package to deal with it.
Oh,
it
my
was
goodness.
amazing. I loved it.
We've always been Nintendo boys, and we always will be. All right, I'm going to send it off to the Wacky News Desk with Dudebro. Lay it on us.
All right. Thank you, Spash.
Oh, boy.
I think this is probably the greatest story that I probably will ever find. Listen to this. A man in Texas was sentenced to 50 years for a $1.2 million fajita scheme.
Fajita scheme?
Fajitas, man.
I didn't know that they were worth that much.
Duh, it's the backbone of the U.S. economy, man. Think about it.
That's true. Our biggest trade partner is Mexico, after all.
Indeed. Just listen to the article. Brownsville, Texas. A Texas man has been sentenced to 50 years in prison for stealing $1.2 million worth of fajitas over 9 years. 53-year-old Gilberto Escamilla, what kind of name is Gilberto, was sentenced Friday after pleading guilty to theft by a public servant. The Brownsville Herald reports he told the court the fajita scheme spun out of control. Gee, I wonder why.
That's 9 years in the making.
He has been intercepting fajitas that he ordered through the Cameron County Juvenile Center where he worked and delivering them to his own customers. His scam was uncovered when he missed work for a medical appointment. I'm taking him to go to the doctor. And 800 pounds of fajitas arrived at the center, which doesn't serve fajitas. God.
I like this mainly because he misses work one time in 9 years. That is a legendary service to your job. This is once in 9 years, and that's the day his work operation falls apart.
I know. It's like the one day you miss, everything just goes to crap. Down the toilet. Just flush.
Moral of the story, if you're doing something illegal, don't go to the doctor. Don't take time off to take care of yourself.
And don't steal fajitas.
There you go.
Alright, now, throwing it back to local news with Spash.
Thanks, Dudebro. I'm here at the local news desk, where we're taking a bit of a turn. In lieu of actual local news, we're going to go with some more wacky news.
Okay, I've never been done before on this show, but okay, let's do it.
That's true. Alright, the title of this is Rescued Sacrificial Rooster Terrorizes Neighborhood.
What? Is this some kind of like demon chicken or something?
I mean, the picture they have here is a rooster that it looks like it's been painted black or burnt all over. It just looks so angry and done with everything. It looks terrifying.
Oh my goodness, I feel so bad for it if it wasn't some kind of like demon chicken of some kind.
So I'll just go ahead and read the story so you can hear what all happened.
Chicken Demon Lord.
There are rescued dogs, saved from abusive owners and placed in loving homes.
Aww.
Then there's Payo.
Aww.
He is a rescue rooster.
Aww.
He was doomed to die in a Santeria ceremony. Just as his neck was to be slit, Payo's adopted family swooped in. They persuaded the priest to sacrifice another animal. They brought Payo home and set him free in the backyard. Wow. Quite the freedom.
Yes. Freedom! Freedom!
And this is where the sweet story of the pet rooster ends. Because sleep-deprived neighbors don't call the big white bird with the blood-red eyes by his nickname, they call him El Terrorista, the terrorist. Whoa!
Terrorist chicken. What could be better than a terrorist chicken?
Let's find out.
Okay.
Alfred Hitchcock could make a scary movie about him, said Michael DiMarziani, co-owner of Recon Argentino restaurant, where Payo struts up to outdoor diners, sticks out his beak, and demands food. That is one rogue rooster. I swear he's got fangs. I told my customers that one of these days we're going to serve fried chicken. Payo lives in Miami's Silver Blessed West neighborhood. He's not a reticent rooster. He likes to crow. Very early and very loudly, as roosters are wont to do. He attacks dogs, cats, and even people whom he considers a threat to his territory.
Oh my goodness.
Payo is the cock of the walk of his once quiet block. I want to end on that rhyme.
I guess.
Whoever wrote this story, it just says staff. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for bringing to our attention the Demon Rooster of Miami. Just another reason not to go to Miami.
Yeah, indeed. Besides, all the,
All I needed was a Demon
Miami
Rooster
fans.
called the Terrorist. The Terrorist Rooster.
I love how they wrote it like in a cinema. In a world.
It's amazing. Then there's Payo.
Dun, dun, dun!
So, I want to know what made this rooster so bitter. I mean, obviously he was going to be sacrificed for some sort of religious ceremony, but...
Probably some kind of demon rooster.
Probably so. I'm thinking that there's more to this story than just, oh, he was going to be sacrificed, that's why he's mean. So...
Remember, if you love something, set it
it
on fire.
Okay?
If it comes back to you, then it's probably demon-possessed.
Like this rooster, like Payo, the terrorist.
Yeah.
El Terrorista.
El Terrorista.
That's such a good name.
It's a great
So,
name.
I'm thinking this rooster was summoned by the same excommunicated exorcist that sacrificed Mothman
It must be.
from France. But he was too powerful to be contained within France. So they sent him to America, the strongest military in the world. They thought surely if anyone could contain El Terrorista. So powerful they named him in a Spanish way in France.
Yeah.
It would be the American military. Well, I want you guys to know, those who summoned Mothra, thanks a lot. Because
Now
this chicken owns an entire town.
It owns an entire town, and is possessed by some kind of demon spirit.
It is the demon spirit.
Probably named Kokopakapoo or something like that.
Yeah, it's Kokopakapoo taking form in Payo, the terrorist chicken.
He's gonna bring about a communist regime next.
Yeah, definitely. As demons are wont to do. So,
Instead of hippity property, it's kickity cockity. There is no property.
it's terrifying.
It's
so
terrifying.
What I propose to prevent this terrifying presence from spreading, that's right. We build a wall.
Build the wall to keep all the demon chickens out.
We build a wall at the bottom of Georgia and lock him in with the rest of the Floridians.
Yeah, especially North Florida. Have you ever met anybody from North Florida?
Yeah, I have, and I met them in Georgia, which should say it all. They fled.
They fled. I mean, think about wearing their stupid cut-off jean shorts and their American bandanas, high off bath salts, talking about some "Go Gators" or something like that.
Anyone that says "Go Gators" is automatically a lunatic, I think.
Lunatic.
At least in my experience. You might be a Gators fan who's alright. If so,
We apologize.
stay in hiding. Stay in hiding. You don't want to be associated.
Yeah, that's the way they're going now. Dan Mullen.
So,
Sure.
I stand by my proposal. We build a wall to block off Florida. That way, he only has to go south.
Yeah.
He moves south,
And then he goes to South America.
takes the rest of Florida with him, and then, where's the obvious way? That's right, Cuba.
Cuba.
The only communist country left in the world, probably.
Well, besides China, but China isn't really communist anymore now.
Well,
is it?
they are.
Except for like economic-wise, I imagine.
No, they're still communists. They're
Okay, well, they're still the red wave.
They've had to adopt different policies, but they call themselves commies.
Yeah. Yeah. Using our free enterprise. How dare they?
How dare they?
How dare they?
We block him off so he can't get into Georgia or Alabama. And he can't swim, so he's going to have to take a boat. So we're going to have to build a wall that circumnavigates Florida and Cuba. So that's just his little empire of death.
Yeah, of death.
We'll
And of
call
doom.
it the Sea of El Terrorista.
The Sea of El Terrorista. Of
Yeah.
doom.
Of doom.
Because you gotta have of doom at the end of something. If you add of doom or of pain at the end of it, it all makes it like 10 times worse.
It does. We're incorporating that in the Spash weather system as well.
Indeed.
So, Murder Chicken 5000 of Doom. El Terrorista. Payo, the rooster. You heard it here first, folks. Florida's doomed. Alright, and now that we're done with our news segment, you know what time it is. That's right, time for our history fact of the day. Today's fact comes from the medieval era.
Ooh.
3 popes were elected at the same time, and they tried to excommunicate each other.
What's it with excommunicating in this podcast?
We have a strange obsession with it.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
Continuing. From 1309 to 1377, the popes exercised their papacy from Avignon, France.
Of course, we all got obsessed with France as well, apparently.
There's a pattern forming.
Dun dun dun, conspiracy.
But in 1377, Pope Gregory XI made a radical move and returned the papacy to Rome. The French did not like this, and so they did what anyone else would do. They elected their own pope.
Elected? Since when did popes get elected?
They've always been elected.
Oh.
Finally, in 1409, cardinals came together and elected a unified pope, John the 23rd. This is where it gets better. Neither of the popes agreed to step down. There were 3 popes in power, and they all excommunicated each other, thus arriving in a comical deadlock. It took another council in Constance to fully restore order in the Catholic Church, where Martin V was finally elected to be the new legitimate pope. The old ones became the anti-popes.
The nega-popes.
The Negachin! So you have Pope Negachin, Pope Bronze Kneecap, and Pope Bull E. The most dangerous trio, the Negapopes. And that's our history fact of the day.
I like that a lot.
The Negapopes.
The nega-popes.
Alright, and now a word from our sponsor of the day, a merchant in Osgiliath. Take it.
I'm afraid that your merchant friend is quite unavailable. Osgiliath has fallen to my armies. I'm going to hand it off to my news reporter in the field with General Gothmog.
Thanks, Lord Sauron. I'm here with best friend Gothmog, leader of the Orc armies. I'm going to interview him. Hello, Gothmog. How are you feeling after your recent victory against Gondor?
I'm feeling hatred.
Excellent. We're all feeling quite a bit of hatred at the moment. Are you going to celebrate?
Yes, the blood and the corpses of all the humans that I have disemboweled.
Well, that sounds splendid. I hope to join you.
Thanks.
So, what we're all wondering right now is, how do you maintain such a terrible complexion? We're all quite jealous.
I think I have some kind of tumor in the left side of my face.
Well, that is just splendid. We'll have to wallow in our own filth for a little bit longer to get as strong as you, Gothmog. That's all the time we have for today. But remember, if you're a human, you're going to die soon. Thanks! Handing it back off to our friends in the station.
Well, that was not planned.
No, it was not. Wasn't that one of our interns?
Richard?
Or was it Jack? I thought it was Jack.
Oh no. I sent Richard.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He wasn't insured.
He wasn't oh no.
We're gonna get sued, man.
So, moving on from that, how about our main topic of the day?
Wait, so we're not gonna talk about...
No, we're not gonna talk about that, dude, bro. We're moving on to the main topic of the day. No one's gonna sue us because nothing happened, and no one has any proof.
Right.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, main topic of the day. Our 10 favorite weapons in video games.
Oh boy, I'm really excited about this topic.
So am I. We've both spent the entire past 2 days coming up with this very difficult list to make. So, without further ado, I'm going to start off by my first favorite weapon, the Portal Gun from the Portal series. Now, I know this isn't necessarily a weapon, but it sure can be. I love the thought of being able to create a hole in existence to another place. And you just step right through, and you're there.
Yeah. Saves so much time on gas mileage.
I know. I probably would just use it to make a hole in my wall, and then a hole in the fridge. But,
yeah,
you know, gas mileage too.
It's an amazing idea, actually.
Might also keep one open at the school. I don't know.
Yeah, just in case you're feeling like, not today, and just jump through it, and then you're back home.
Exactly.
Like, I can't even school right now, and then just, whoop, I'm back home.
It's my bed. Right over my bed. I'll just fall right into it.
Yeah, and just a nice little bounce.
It'd be great. It'd be great.
Just
so,
switch.
what's your first pick?
I gotta say, my favorite video game weapon has gotta be the Fat Man.
The Fat Man.
From Fallout.
Do-do-do.
Of course, the Fat Man. Bandits bully him all the time. No matter what grade your power armor is, how high level you are, you could be strolling along, minding your own business, and all of a sudden... And then there goes your life. There goes your coinage. There goes your power armor. All your bottle caps. Everything just gone.
It's even better when you get to submit someone else to that.
Exactly. That's why there's so few Fat Man shells in Fallout that you can actually find.
It's too strong.
It is. It's completely OP'd, man.
I love it.
Exactly. Like, think about it. How do bandits even get this kind of weapon? It's basically a catapult that shoots a mini nuke at people.
Yeah, it's just a little catapult. I don't know how they would get a hold of it. I guess by getting rid of someone else who already had it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But, I mean, they're bandits.
That's true.
It's
Who's the idiot that gave the bandits a fat man?
Exactly.
Who are you?
Like what kind... Why would you put the most powerful weapon pretty much in the game, give it to people that are murderers and loot people for money? Whose idea was that? That's not a good idea. That's terrible.
And don't say it was for challenge. That's a lame excuse.
Yeah, because you should be walking along, mind your own business, or you could be just random bandit, like, oh yeah, I'm owning these guys all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, kabooyah, goodbye life.
It's done. Literally
and figuratively.
Speaking of which, moving on to number 2. My second pick is the Katamari from Katamari, the series. So if you've never played Katamari, I highly suggest you do when the remake comes out. It's so silly. Basically, it's a ball that you can use to pick up things that are of approximate size or smaller than it. And it accumulates and accumulates over time. Eventually, you can pick up continents, you can pick up planets and stars. It's just... I'd hate to be caught in that pool. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, I mean, eventually look at the universe, and again, multiple universes and multiple dimensions in a giant ball.
And then it's just
death.
All of existence in Doom.
In Doom. Speaking of Doom, moving on to my next pick, I'm going to go with the fuel rod gun from Halo.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Yes, mostly because, not quite as powerful as a Spartan laser or the rocket launcher, if you can amass the amount of ammo you can get from taking it off of elite grunts and, of course, like elite generals, it's just mayhem for the opposing side. Just shooting off 4 shots at a time and just raining down green blobs of death.
It's over. Game over.
It's done. And not only that, you can also zoom on it.
Oh, yeah.
So you can basically snipe people with it.
Wow, that is just... it's a bit OP.
It is, especially if a jetpack just flying over him like, rain down my green globs of death. Hiya! Hiya!
Patoom!
Hiya!
Patoom! Kabooyah.
Kapuya, 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 yow.
4 times.
4 times.
So, moving on to my next pick, the purple Pikmin. I can already see you rolling your eyes. A Pikmin? Really? Well, this is no ordinary Pikmin. It's the purple Pikmin. First of all, he has hair. Yeah. Second of all, he chubby. Super chubby. In fact, he weighs 10 times the amount of any other Pikmin, which makes him a terrifying thing to get dropped on. So, if you're throwing Pikmin, why throw 10 reds when you can throw 1 purple and insta-kill anything? And next thing, they're super cute. They hold hands with the white Pikmin. That's super cool. So, I'm just saying, they're the bros of Pikmin.
You know, that kind of reminds me of like back in the 70s or the 80s when the Vikings had their defense that are called the Purple People Eaters. That kind of reminds me of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a terrifying presence.
Indeed, just kind of like a purple Pikmin.
What's your next pick, huh?
The Pokeball.
The Pokeball.
Now, it's not a weapon, but think about it. A little cap-sized ball can capture creatures of unimaginable power. Some that can even distort universes and realities, all in this little bit of ball.
The deities of entire realities encaptured by a little ball.
Yeah, and then you can throw it out, and then it does whatever you want.
Usually a 10-year-old.
Yeah, a 10-year-old. Imagine, whose bright idea was it? Okay, it's 10 years old. Time to go out on your journey by yourself with no adult supervision.
It's a rite of passage.
For a 10-year-old?
If you survive, you deserve to be older than 10.
Then how can that happen to Ash yet?
He doesn't deserve to be older than 10.
Then why is he still alive then? Why has he been killed off in the wild?
Look.
He's basically inept.
Look. He's the main character of a TV show. He's not gonna die.
Why
He'll come close a few times. There'll be a few close calls.
Well then why is it that it's like every season he progresses so much and he regresses back to his 10-year-old self in his first starting of his journey all over again?
I don't know, but it drives me nuts.
It's like, how could a Pikachu zap an Arceus, the god of Pokemon, one-shot it, and then it lose to a Snivy? A beginner's trainer's Snivy. How is that possible?
It's not. It's not. Conclusion? He's hallucinating.
He's got to be hallucinating.
He's gotta be.
It's got to be for all that oddish,
Oh my goodness.
all that gloom aroma.
The first time he met Pikachu, what happened? Got shocked, knocked out.
Conspiracy theory, everything that Ash experienced all in his imagination.
The real hero of the story? Brock.
Brock.
He has his handy drying pan. That's what's up. Brock, if you're hearing this, you're our hero. Anyways, my next pick, from Gears of War, the Hammer of Dawn.
The Hammer of Dawn!
Now, anyone that's played Gears of War definitely saw this coming. It's a space laser. There's not much else that can be said.
Oh.
If you get a hold of one of these bubbas, it's a done deal. The enemy cannot combat a laser from space.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, all locusts, they're just dead. It's
Everywhere.
like, bring the hammer! Just like Coach Smith, I'll drop the hammer on you, son!
Oh, yeah.
Lasers!
From space.
And it's just death. Alright, my next pick, I'm gonna go with Ruth Rad from Skyrim. Now, I have particular love for this particular weapon because, let's face it, a giant battle axe. Who wouldn't want a giant battle axe?
And you are the Viking.
Yes, a giant battle axe of doom
Of Doom.
that can especially kill those bothersome elves, causing double damage to them.
Oh, really?
Elves, yes. I mean, the Old Mary Dominion, they're always interrupting in our stuff.
They are.
Oh, just manipulative, little pointy-eared little turds, man.
Now, as an Imperial official, I cannot comment. But I agree totally, they are turds.
They are turds. I mean, think about it.
And
They
they smell.
outlawed the worship of the great and mighty Talos. This cannot stand!
It won't stand. In fact, Talos will come. I tell you, Talos comes.
And he will rain down his mighty sword upon the Old Mary Dominion and destroy them! Whoa!
Talos, I love you! Thanks, Talos. Moving on, my next pick is the Fight Saber from Enter the Gungeon. This game is probably one of the most difficult ones I've ever played. I've got about 58 hours in, and I am just barely scratching the surface. But one thing I know is when I get the Fight Saber, it's gonna be a good run. So basically the Fight Saber is a lightsaber that's also machine gun. And when you reload, you swing it about, both causing damage to any nearby enemies and deflecting every enemy bullet that comes your way, right back at them. It's literally just a lightsaber with a machine gun function, and that is awesome. It's OP, it's cool, it's fun to use. It's just a good weapon.
I have a question.
Alright,
Jedi or Sith?
Sith.
Sith. Definitely would use that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Jedi has all that code of honor or whatever. We'll use lightsabers. They have no emotions or feelings.
Jedi can't have girlfriends.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's why I'm a Sith.
Yeah, Sith.
Who wants to talk to an animal when you can talk to a pretty girl?
Yeah, pretty alien girl. Moving on to my next pick, we're gonna go from just the regular handheld pistol from Halo Combat Evolved. And you're wondering, a pistol? Really? Only just a regular pistol?
Oh, anyone that's played Halo already knows where you're going with this.
Right, especially in the first game, because this pistol can zoom in. Not only can it zoom in,
It has
Emma.
120 ammo.
Exactly. And not only that, it has the capacity of like a rifle.
It's awesome.
A pistol. Yeah, it's the only weapon in the game besides the sniper that you can actually zoom in on from the very first Halo game. So that just in of itself, because technically you can't really find a sniper rifle. You always have a pistol on you.
It's always
And
your
it's also-
secondary weapon.
It's also the one other weapon beside the sniper rifle in that particular game that can get you a headshot.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yep.
So, my next pick is from Bioshock, one of the plasmids, the insect swarm plasmids.
Ooh, I love that game.
Basically, you point at someone and summon a swarm of bees, and that is very cool.
Yeah, it's like them African like killer bees from like Africa. They, they just come down, they just aggressively just attack. It's like honeybees, but they're just aggressive.
They're super aggressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, they come out with the intent of getting rid of whoever's bothering you.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a bit OP to summon a swarm of bees, but it's also super cool because who knows, if you manage to master the skill in real life, you could have unlimited honey, potentially.
All the honeys.
If
you know what I'm saying.
If you know what
Wink,
I'm saying.
wink, nudge, nudge. Alright, my next pick, keep with the Fallout franchise, is of course, it would not be a list without a giant robot. Liberty Prime.
Communism is a... Death is a preferable alternative to communism.
Cuba, goodbye. China, goodbye.
You don't need to explain this one. Liberty Prime is just awesome.
It's America. It's
It's
America written all over it.
It's everything we stand for.
Exactly.
It chucks nukes like footballs.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
it's,
more American?
It's a nuke football throwing giant robot that destroys communism.
And that's an amazing American thing.
Yeah, what's more American than that, man?
I can't think of anything.
The only thing more American that can be about it is if it was in American motif colors and it had giant bald eagle wings that allowed it to fly.
The only thing more American is George Washington himself.
Commanding Liberty Prime.
Oh my goodness.
With Teddy Roosevelt
Like standing
on
the
his shoulder with a minigun.
Teddy Roosevelt on one shoulder, George Washington on the other. One of them has a minigun, the other one has a laser. Oh my goodness. And they both have eagles swarming around them, protecting them.
Yes, robot eagles.
Robot eagles, and then the Continental Army is backing them up, and the Rough Riders
With laser rifles.
leading the way with laser rifles and lances
And
made
energy
of
swords.
and energy
Ha-
swords.
Halo energy swords.
And Halo energy swords. And oh man, the Continental Army, they have laser muskets
Yes.
cranked up to 7.
Yeah.
I'm talking 7-level energy muskets, and oh my goodness, what else needs to be said?
Nothing.
Apple
Nothing
pie
at all.
is waiting for them at home.
With ice cream.
God
Vanilla
bless.
ice cream.
God bless.
God bless America.
Amen. So, I don't know how I can top that. There's no way, but I'm gonna try with Perry the Parasol from Super Princess Peach. This game surprised me. It is probably one of my fondest memories in gaming as a young child, at least. This umbrella, this parasol, joins Princess Peach in her quest to save the Mario Bros. And he's OP. He can be a boat, he can be a submarine, he can thwack Koopas aside like no one's
Thwack!
business. Also, helps her float anywhere she wants to go. He's super cool. He's just a good guy. And he's
Kacha?
also a parasol. We don't know what he started out as.
So basically, Kacha?
Basically.
Kacha?
I thought you said ka-chow.
No, I mean like the little that Street Fighter here's the little hip smash attack. You say Kacha! There, it's like,
Kacha!
it just sends them like off the stage.
It's Smash Bros, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really cool weapon, really cool guy. That's why he's on my list.
Perry the Parasol. Now to my next pick, I'm gonna go for something classic, something that is pretty much on everybody's list. The
Okay.
Hidden Blades from Assassin's Creed.
Oh.
I love it because they're such a versatile weapon. Obviously, you have the Hidden Blades. You can come behind somebody, assassinate them,
Oh, yeah.
assassinate them from the sky. But I think the greatest thing about it is just their ability in combat for counterattacks.
Oh yeah.
Able to slip behind, especially like if they have like a spear or like a sword and get in their guard, and you can just get all in their body shots, all that kind of stuff.
Make that noise again. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much that's how that little slink,
Schlink.
like schling and schlunk
My
out of their bodies.
my favorite way to use the hidden blades is in a haystack.
Yeah, and then just then you pull them in the haystack.
You like whistle to them, they're like, and they come, and you do that 800 times, and it's just a haystack that should be full of bodies, but is not.
Logic, boom.
Out the window, into the haystack.
I guess my favorite thing about it is doing the double aerial kill. Like you just jump
Oh man.
and then like you just get him right in the back of the neck.
I remember the first time I did that, I thought I was something.
Yeah.
Oh man, Ezio was so cool.
Ezio or Altair.
Altair didn't have double blades.
Yeah, but he technically was the greatest assassin.
Oh yeah,
Technically speaking.
definite. I agree.
But he only had one, but he only needed one.
Only needed one.
Seems that good.
Ezio needed 2
Yeah.
to be cool. Altair only needed 1.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
My next pick is from Fallout New Vegas, the Honest Hearts DLC. It's A Light Shining in Darkness, the pistol. Now, this pistol isn't particularly strong, although it is a very good weapon. I use it all the time. It's based on the Bible verse, obviously, that says light shining in darkness. And it glows in the dark. That is called Next Level Pun. That's a next level pun. It's awesome. The story behind it, I highly encourage you to play it. Just play it. Get the pistol. You won't regret it. What's your next pick?
Now, my next pick really isn't so much a weapon as much as it can be considered a weapon, obviously. It's the Thume, or Shout.
From Skyrim.
From Skyrim. Now, we have an interesting story to tell you, but I'm going to tell you, before we get into that, I'm going to tell you why I love this. Think about it. You're speaking in a different, the language of the dragons, and when you speak a certain phrase, it just happens. It happens. You speak certain words, and then, boom!
The power is summoned.
Yeah, like the Vushroda, or the Ice Breath, Flame Breath, or even the Whirlwind Sprint.
Word? Nakesh.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so fun to say, because it's a really cool, Nordic, Dragonian language.
Super cool. You know, it was written specifically to fit the theme song of the Elder Scrolls. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, we have a story to tell you now. This is back when Spash first bought the game.
Oh man,
I was walking in. I was coming into his house, right? This is back in high school. I remember we were real young in high school, right?
Ninth grade.
Ninth grade, and he was first ascending the 10,000 step thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'm like, "Good." He said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm playing Skyrim." "Oh, can I watch?" He said, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "You know what? This is probably the worst time if an abominable snowman came out of nowhere."
And at that moment, the frost troll, the scripted frost troll, jumps down from the crags, and we both go, "Oh my God! It's the abominable snowman!"
Ah!
It was awesome. I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah, we didn't you die 3 times trying to beat that thing?
Oh yeah, I died at least 9 times.
Yeah, but the kicker is when we finally ascended and met the Greybeards. Alex, I want you to tell that part for me.
Okay, so we go in, and anyone that's played this knows they ask you to shout at them. They're like, "Oh, don't worry, we can take it. No big deal." And so Argnir, I think that's his name, says, "Let us taste of your Thume." And I was a bit confused the first time going through, and then I figured it out right when he said that. So he goes, "Let us taste of your..." And I go, "Foos!" right then and there, and blow him back, and looking back, one of my fondest memories.
Indeed, and he just shrugged it off like it was nothing. It was just, in real time, he was just like, "Let us taste your douche!" And then it was just it.
It was a lot of fun.
Indeed.
So, moving on, my next pick, number 9, the bug net from Animal Crossing.
The bug net.
The bug net.
The net of bugs.
What else can you use to catch scorpions, swarms of bees, and tarantulas before they hit you? Nothing else. Nothing else in that game, at least. The bug net. What else can I say?
The net of bugs.
What's your next pick?
I'm going to go with probably the very first weaponized, really weapon in the video game world. Probably the Fire Flower from the original Mario series. Think about it. Think about this. You transform into basically a fireman, able to shoot unlimited amounts of fire bolts at your enemies, and it's guaranteed to knock pretty much every enemy out.
Even Bowser.
Even Bowser. You just spam the crap out of that thing, and it's just constantly hitting him over and over and over again.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's just, what else can I say? Think about it in real life, just having being a fireman.
Suddenly you're wearing red overalls and a white hat?
Yeah.
There's nothing cooler.
Yeah, and a white shirt up underneath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just look so cool.
Yeah, you do. And then you grow a nice thick mustache.
I would prefer it to be made of fire.
Yeah, a fire, and it's gonna be a handlebar mustache.
Oh, it has to be.
Handlebar mustache, the greatest of mustaches.
Indeed.
Only the manliest and most gentlemanliest of men may wear.
Firemen. So, my 10th and final pick is the Hyro Titan from Total War Warhammer 2. This is an exclusive monster type for the Tomb King faction, and it's literally just a giant with magic and lasers, and it looks like a gigantic statue from Egypt. I don't really know what else to say about it. His eye lasers. It's basically Liberty Prime, but stone giant from Egypt.
With lasers.
With lasers.
Coming from his eyes, and then he just smushes people.
Yes, he just does whatever he wants. You can't stop him.
Pretty
So
much.
that's my 10th pick. Dudebro, what is your final pick?
My last and final pick, sticking with the Mario theme, I'm gonna go with the paintbrush from Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, the paintbrush, the one that Bowser Jr. used.
Yeah.
Yeah, like think about it. You can create little ink monsters and then just vandalize a town, whatever you want. Turn it into basically like just a sludge-filled disaster area where you can make sludge monsters that bend to your will. And then of course the finish would be how they first come to the boss. It's like a big volcano
Yeah.
type thing, and they turn into that giant muck monster.
The first thing you see in landing in Delfino. Oh man, that'd be so cool. Oh,
Yeah.
you can also make portals.
Yeah, and you can make portals jump from place to place. Yeah, and then basically you can make all your wishes come true.
That's all you need in life is the magic paintbrush from Super Mario Sunshine.
Indeed.
So, that's our 10 picks. What do you think? Do you like our picks? Do you dislike them? Let us know. Also, we want to know what your favorite weapons are. Before we move on to our last bit, we asked a few of our friends what their favorite weapons of video games are. So, my friend Brandon said the Monado Blade from Xenoblade Chronicles. You'll know it more commonly as the weapon that Shulk uses in Super Smash Bros. And our friend Jesse says the Redeemer from Unreal Tournament, which is basically a nuclear missile launcher. It's so fun to use. I have such good memories just wiping out every opponent in my way. But it only came with one missile, so I had to make the most of it.
Also, don't shoot in close quarters, else you will die.
You will die. Next is Catherine. Her favorite weapon is Lara Croft herself.
I mean, think about it. Genius, beautiful. Not only that, her body is a living, breathing weapon.
She's terrifying.
She's terrifyingly beautiful.
Very attractive.
Indeed.
Yeah, we'll just stop talking.
Yeah.
Our friend Caspian says the LGR from Far Cry 4 is his favorite weapon, and I know why. It's loud. Very loud. Makes you feel proud.
It makes you feel like you own your enemies. Like, I own you.
You did. You did. And finally, Dudebro's little brother says his favorite weapons is Dawnbreaker from Skyrim and the Brave Sword from Fire Emblem. Both of those are really fun weapons to use.
Indeed. Especially with Dawnbreaker, with the special ability it has from getting it from, is it the Shrine of Mara that you get it from, or is it from somewhere else?
Oh, it's from Meridia.
Meridia, that's right, Meridia.
A new hand touches the beacon.
I always hated hearing that.
Especially with the Brave Sword and Fire Emblem. Now, if you know what the Brave Sword is, it's one of the best weapons you can get in the game. Obviously, it's by swordsmen and knights. Causes a massive amount of damage, and, I mean, what else could you want in a sword? Especially for a unit.
The only problem is that in Fire Emblem Awakening, it has very limited uses.
Exactly, that's the only drawback. It's basically kind of like, the Redeemer. You only get one shot, Brave Sword, you only get a couple of shots. And then goodbye.
I always found myself waiting till the very, very, very last fight, and still not using them, thinking I would have to use them later. It's like that potion you hold on to the entire RPG just to never use it, even when you need it. And now, to finish off today's podcast, we're going to be reading an excerpt from George Washington's Rules of Civility and Decent Behavior in Company and Conversation.
Thank you, Spash. The second rule is, and I quote, "When in company, put not your hands to any part of the body not usually discovered." So basically, what he is saying is, do not pull a Michael Jackson, do not pull a hee-hee, okay?
Please.
Kids, don't do
Please,
that. Not
for
in public.
everyone's sake.
In fact, don't even do it in public. Don't do it at all.
Ever.
Yeah, that guy was a weirdo.
Don't do it in private, don't do it in public.
Loved his music, but still a weirdo.
Didn't like to watch him dance.
Yeah,
Hey, thanks for joining us today in episode 2. We're very happy with how everything's gone so far. We'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to us and like us on Facebook, and have a great day.
Thank you. We will see you all on the next episode. Goodbye.